Good morning, everybody out there. It's the True Serum. We're trying to keep up with all this fast-moving stuff. Welcome aboard. Go get a coffee, orange juice, water. Might be too early to have a drink, but do what you got to do. Things are moving real fast, and I can't keep up with it. I'm just going to keep pumping them. So come on in. Let's rock and roll a little bit. Let's take a look at some things and see what our thoughts are about things, and go ahead. Let's get rid of this. All right. First and foremost, Dave Portnoy, who I did a video about and said he was very brave and to put his stance out there and put his thoughts and beliefs out there. He was on Fox this morning, so that's refreshing, and he did a good job. And that's nice that, hey, he's right. George Clooney endorses Kamala Harris. Who gives a flying about George Clooney? He's not in the political apparatus. He's not. So endorsements come from people within this political machine. George Clooney. Who gives a crap about this guy? Endorses. Just, hey, Elias. So, yay! George Clooney endorses Kamala Harris. Now, they just skipped the primary process. You know, the steps leading to an election. But because they just automatically they're going to get the delegates, 300 delegates. But you still have to go through the same the political process, from primaries and then the delegations, the delegates, and then going all the way to the election day. I mean, they just do it. They just do whatever they got to do. That's just, well, we'll do it this way. And in the meantime, so the money that was raised on the Biden-Harris ticket, what was that, 80-something million? They just keep it? One last cash grab? So, okay, let's move along. Michael Condinas, Elias Barnes, let's move along. Of course, we already know that the Oversight Committee, the senators all got together. That was just a circus. Who couldn't foresee that? Who couldn't handicap that they're not going to say anything. So they're going to have more hearings. But guess what? Big breaking news. Mayorkus or CHEATle aren't going to show up. Nah, they're not going to show up. So, okay. Who didn't see that coming? When they showed up, they weren't there. They had their gag orders for the globalists, and they might have got a package. So, what else do we have? Oh, Netanyahu comes in, Israeli president, prime minister. Netanyahu comes in. There's no Biden. Of course, there's no Biden. There hasn't been Biden, whatever. So you can't expect that. No Kamala Harris. She's having a high school pep rally somewhere. Yay, yay, yay. Get your freak on. Yay, yay, yay. And he comes into America getting greeted by some no-namers. Boom, boom, slap them right across the face. That's what they did. And when the next semester starts at college, watch the protests that they're going to have against Israel and everything else. They're already orchestrating that. They're crossing the T's. They're dotting their I's. Grab your popcorn for that. Just get set up for that. shit show. Okay. So, what else? Kamala Harris, first woman, huh? For that is in power right now. Um, and is she black? Is Kamala Harris black? They push her along as she black. Isn't she Jamaican? I think she was born from a Jamaican father and a Jamaican mother. Now she's black. I'm Sicilian, and there's roots going into ancestry and genealogy that there's pieces of other uh, uh, um, uh, nationalities, races in that could be mixed into your body, your genes. So they spin and spin and spin and spin and spin. And these people just keep lapping it up like a thirsty dog. And why? Why? When do people that should be of sound thinking continue to approve and promote and support knuckleheads? Because psychologically speaking, the fear is the tool. Donald Trump is the boogeyman. And so they're smart. This is something they studied, prominent psychologists and minds decades ago, and they use these when it's the best advantageous time in business or other aspects and politics and elections and campaigns and everything like that. So, and she's the rah-rah cheerleader, and she's up there and they're lapping it up, and she is gonna promote, she's gonna be the poster child, and you're gonna feel comfortable because they're having parties over there and they're having high school pep rallies, and you're gonna feel comfortable. That thinker, them thinkers, those people that are thinking like that, they're gonna feel all right. We perceive Donald Trump as the boogeyman, and we got this cheerleader over here that's done absolutely nothing in her whole political career. She's done absolutely zero. So why do people just wish to behave when it comes to elections in these ways? Fear. Excuse me, folks, I got to get my fix. So they use that because all you need for that psychological profile is hate, which is the hate for Donald Trump. Don't pay attention to his accomplishments. You could easily compare and contrast these two people and what they've accomplished. Don't pay attention to that at the voting box, because you're in an emotion of hate. So don't pay attention to that. Over here, you got the cheerleader pep rally and everything. Rah, rah, rah. I'm comfortable. You could feel comfortable as a sheep while they're taking you to slaughter. So that's what's going to happen. So the emotionality that they can prey upon, and especially when you got media amplifying it like it's on steroids, you got all you've added fuel to the fire with CNN, ABC, every other one, that networks that are run by the globalists. So you add that on. It was by 18 miracles that Trump even won the other time. And then we all know what happened in the second time. So this is going to be, and oh yeah, you know what, folks? Maybe I'm just getting a little long in the tooth. Maybe, the truth serum's just going too fast. 600 videos in 2 years, and things are accelerated. But aren't there still hostages overseas? And maybe it's just me. Aren't there still American hostages? Am I just tripping? Hostages? Have we? Nah, who cares? Yes. We don't care about hostages anymore, do we? Whatever. They're getting 3 meals a day, probably. We don't care. Yeah. We don't care about a nuclear submarine sitting outside of Cuba. We don't care. We don't care. No, we hate Donald Trump. We just don't care. We don't care. We don't care. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I try to think and look at people and try to come up with an educated, logical perception of these people, legitimate and or actors, and try to make an assessment on some of this stuff. Another slap to America. Mayorkus, head of Department of Homeland Security, and his puppet, Robin CHEATle. Nah, we ain't going to go to that charade. They know we're not going to say anything, so why waste time at the oversight hearings? Why waste time? I got a golf date. I'm going to go shoot 18 holes today. Forget about that oversight committee. Nah, they know we're not going to say anything. I don't know. They're backtracking. They said things, then they change. If America wishes to just be that stupid, then they should rot on the vine. And everybody, the certain demographic, their target demographic, the Democratic campaign strategists formulate the target segment of people that can get them elected. So they pray. They already know the forensic profile. They already know what, if you're feeding them bullcrap or whatever. They already know how their mind thinks. And what compels us as humans more than anything else? Fear. Fear compels our human behavior more than anything else. So they pray that the monster Donald Trump, all the media, trillions of dollars they spent on calling Donald Trump a monster. Well, humans fear monsters. You got the party girl over there that partied her way all the way up to the top, and it has accomplished zero. But we feel more comfortable with the party girl and that demographic that can get them over the hump. So with all that being said, what next? The truth serum? Well, the only thing that could save this country is that demographic, that said demographic that I just explained, that they prey on. Are there going to be some that say, you know what? I've had enough of that shit show for a while. I got to try some of this. Our family can't pay the bills. Our family can't get groceries. It's hard to travel. We didn't take many summer vacations. We didn't do this historically, and we didn't do these historical things. And all of a sudden, well, you know, Nancy, I think our standard of living has been lowered. Our quality of life. There's not going to be a lot of money for school clothes. We didn't take Billy and Sally to the amusement park. You know what? I think we've kind of got fooled by this Biden cat. And then all the lies and all the corruption and everything, they got caught up. And you know what? Let's check out Donald Trump. Because you know what? Do you remember back then, Nancy? We went to Six Flags. We took a trip over here to Palm Beach. We went a trip over there. We saw the whale watch. We went here. We went there. Yeah, you know what? Why are we being emotional? Let's just look at the quality of life we had. You know what? I'm going to try this Trump guy out a little bit because I want to take a trip next summer somewhere. Maybe we could get this show on the road. So they might, some of those perennials could transfer over and snap out of this hypnosis, systematic hypnosis that the Democrats throw trillions of dollars at. And maybe Trump has a chance. It's going to be a close election no matter what. So that is the one and only way that Donald Trump has a half a chance. And they're going to play this emotionality game, this fear game, because humans intrinsically, of course, react to fear. The Bible says, fear not, 1,000,000 times. Because they must have known something back in the Jesus days and all of that. So the emotionality and the fear factor, and we'll see which one rises to the top. It's close, the polls. And listen, folks, you can't trust the polls because this is what they're going to do as you get closer and closer to election day. Okay, my good people? They're going to start showing polls because of these Kamala Harris pep rallies. And they're going to say, Harris, whoever else she gets for her VP, Harris, polls are defeating Donald Trump. Harris up by 8 points in this poll. Harris up by 6 points in this poll. Oh, Donald Trump's doomed. Well, so then Donald Trump voters might just think, I don't care. We're losing. I'm not going to go vote. So the psychographics, the psychological warfare that they're you know how much money they're going to have for their campaign ads? These globalist billionaires, here's a blank check. Here's a blank check, Kamala Harris. Go rock and roll. You're pretty well versed in this game. So the polls will show this. And oh gosh, it's going to depress Donald Trump fans. Oh geez, maybe I shouldn't even go vote. Mm-hmm. So we're going to watch it and we're going to witness it. Forget about the oversight committee on the assassination attempt for Donald Trump. That ship has sailed. That'll be a whisper in another 2 weeks. Forget about all that. Oh, new information on the assassination attempt. Blah, 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 blah. Most Americans know what really took place. And if they don't, they really have some mental deficits. Those are your Democratic voting base. Hello? Refuse to look at facts and just accept gibberish. And that's it. Emotional. Donald Trump's the boogeyman. Well, the boogeyman did everything great for America. We don't care. He's the boogeyman. You know why? Because CNN told us. And Jeff and George, the globalists, told us. And they got it on a loop on 6 networks around the clock. So we don't care. He's the boogeyman because media told us. We don't care if we were living better. They just told us he was the boogeyman and it's on a loop. Will they wake up? This is like some demented mini-series from the 1980s. This is like a mini-series of delusion, corruption, evilness. It's just like, it's this ongoing mini-series. You remember Dallas and Dynasty and all that way back. This is this ongoing mini-series. It won't be a mini-series when there's World War III. It won't be a mini-series when a loaf of bread is $15. It won't be a mini-series when gasoline is $20. It won't be a mini-series when you're stripped of all your rights It ain't gonna be a miniseries then. George Clooney and all them, it ain't gonna be a miniseries. They act in those miniseries. It ain't gonna be any of that George Clooney gibberish. And he endorsed it. Who cares about George Clooney endorsing? Who's he? We put George Clooney as some great political thinker. He's an actor. He's acting on behalf of them right now. Are people that dumbed down? We will really see what I've been saying since 1981 when I was writing college papers, the dumbing down of America. This election coming up. I've been waiting for this election for 40 years since I did my first bid in college. And I wrote a paper, The Dumbing Down of America, and where it will be in 10, 20, 30, 40 years as it is now. This is the final paper of this is the final chapter of my thesis. This is the final chapter. It's going to unfold. I'm 61 years old. I'm going to get a chance to witness it. Yeah. And I wish some of my professors were alive who told me back then, Mr. Monty, come here. This is pretty, what's the lack of better words? Outrageous. This is pretty good, but for just content value, blah, blah, blah. But that could probably never that probably never happen. Well, this is New York State education system, which has been a joke since the beginning of time. So they've already had that somewhat indoctrination. They've been indoctrinated into that type of thinking, and any new type of thoughts as a student, me coming up with stuff like that would seem strange or odd or wrong or unbelievable. But they are happy because they're part of that machine, that the hypnotic machine. Students will sit there and say the professor is right. I got to take everything the professor. I wrote papers against what the professor was saying, and of course I caught his eye, and he went, "Whoa, do tell, explain. Why would you say this? Why would you say that?" So the education system that they try to get to perform hypnosis and indoctrinate students and get them to follow the script. See, they cover all the bases. They cover all the bases. They got the advantage. They got so much of an advantage that if it was just like you were putting odds on things, if you like it was a horse race and you were just putting odds on an event, Biden, just say Biden, would be 3-5. That means if you bet $2, you would win $3.20. So that's how much of the favorite the Biden would be. Donald Trump would be 1,000-1 because that's a long shot, and that can't happen because the deck of cards is so stacked in every area that it's impossible for Trump to win because everything's stacked against him. No kidding. Have we not witnessed that since the first day he said, "I want to be a politician"? So, Francis, how you doing? The New York Jets, yeah. Mayorkus and CHEATle, no shows. Nah, we're not going to waste our time. The Oversight Committee, we're not going to waste our time on any of that. Well, no. We're going to go watch Looney Tunes for a while and maybe go play maybe a 9 holes or 18 hole. We ain't got time to tell the American what we were doing. No. The globalists gave us instructions, of course. So who couldn't guess? I said it when they announced those hearings. That's easy. That's a no-brainer. The globalist puppet masters, and when you have that power of the globalists, I don't blame Mayorkus or CHEATle for not saying nothing, because that could lead to So that's it. So I believe that's it. So this fear, Donald Trump is the boogeyman, and we're going to have a party with Kamala Harris while the frickin' boat sinks for another 4 years. And who cares? The house is on fire, but let's rock and roll. Go Harris, go Harris, go Harris, go Harris. Let's rock and roll, folks. Oh, what? The ship is sinking? Ah, that's all right. Oh, the house is on fire? Ah, who cares? Go Harris, go Harris. Now Harris. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah. The dumbing down of America, folks. We'll see who wins November 2024 of how stupid and dumb our country can really get. But the political apparatus and the media apparatus has embedded this into kids. They're growing up now. They're teenagers. They're voting age. This is in their DNA. They can't snap out of it. A couple might and jump to Trump, and maybe he can get over the hump. I'm a poet, and I didn't know it. All right, folks. Thank you, Francis. Thank you. The Jets, Elias, Michael Candinas, David Portnoy, I want to thank you for putting it out there. I thanked you before. You came on Fox News. You put it out there good. My same sentiments. Great job, Dave Portnoy, Barstool. Got up there on Fox this morning and said what most of us fellow Americans believe. So thank you, Dave. Keep on fighting. And that was brave of him, because he don't have to. A lot of these wealthy people, they don't have to, and they don't. They sit back and say, Butler, when's the filet mignon being served? Oh, that's cool. Nah. Salute to Dave Portnoy. So support the channel. The links are in the description. I bought a book, cheaper than a cup of coffee, Amazon. They Dead Missed memoir. And whatever you could do would be greatly appreciated. All right, folks, go out, enjoy the summer. We still have to have a good time, but this is a very important issue. And, you like the blue? Joe Rufino, how you doing? Thank you, Francis. So, yeah, we got to pay attention to this, but it's at the point where it's like, shoot or get off the pot. And they get embedded, because it's going to take 2 Republican presidency terms to turn this garbage pail around. That swamp is the ocean now. So it's going to take a lot of work. But Trump did it before, and he'll do it again. And another thing I want to stress here, folks, they weaponized everything they could under the sun. Try to put Trump in prison from day one. Mayorkus, well, he can't be under subject of terms of perjury, because when Ted Cruz shredded him at that border hearing in the Oversight Committee, he just say zero, just like Robin CHEATle. Robin CHEATle had said some statements, yes or no, where she could finally say yes or no, which could be subject to perjury later on. So Donald Trump, who could have got killed that day, might still have that CHEATle on the back of his mind and say, try to put me in jail? Get your toothbrush and underwear out, Sally, because you're going to be heading to a penitentiary. Food for thought, folks. Food for thought. We're just going to have to see how it all unfolds. Thank you, Joe Rufino, Francis Franciotti, the New York Jets 15, Michael Candinas, Elias Barnes. If anybody wants to read a good book, that's a good book. The link is in there. The link to the Cash App is in there. The link to the Super Chat, everything. Hit a button, hit a like button, any button you see, just hit it. Hit the notification bell, because you know I always come on here at different times. I'm pumping these out. Things are moving fast. I want to stay on top of it, and I want to have a video library to record these things and document these things, and remember historical times in America. Why not? All right, folks. God bless you and your family. Stay great. The world is a vampire more than ever. It wants your blood. Rise up, fight, think straight, because we're going into communism, socialism, and Marxism right before your very eyes. Thank you, folks. Rock on. Thanks for watching. And thank you, Dave Portnoy.